Good morning and welcome to our meditation. Today is the 15th of October. I'm still reading Proverbs chapter 15, verse 25. The house of the proud the Lord will demolish, but he will protect the widow's boundary line. The house of the widow will prevail. We have been seeing that God is a God that doesn't like pride. And Pharaoh said to Moses, I don't know your God. There was no fear of the Lord in his heart. And we know how his life ended. Yesterday, we talked about the importance of humility to find your place in God's army. You are not the captain. You are not in command. God is in command. You are a servant. You are a soldier of the Lord. It's extremely important to find your place in that army. Galatians chapter 6 verse 3 says, For if anyone thinks he's something when he's really nothing, he's only fooling himself. Interesting that in the same text, Paul is going to tell the Galatians that they were trying to find glory in their own flesh, in their own religion, in their own way of doing things, forgetting that there is no glory in that. The only glory that remains forever is the glory of the Lord. That's why in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, Paul says, For who makes you superior? What do you have that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not receive it? The oxygen you have, the life you have, the plants around you, life in you, it's a gift. You shouldn't boast because it is a gift. The wages of sin is death. Romans chapter 6, verse 23. But grace is a gift from God, so we should not boast. Peter says that our glory is like the flower of the field, and maybe not a field in this part of France where I live, where it rains a lot, near the Pyrenees, between the Pyrenees and the Atlantic. But in Peter's country, where Peter came from, a flower didn't last forever. And life is compared to that. Our glory is compared to that. So we need something greater than our religion to save us. And the Bible calls it redemption. We find redemption in an interesting text that was written by Korah and his children in verse 11 of Psalm 49. It's written at the end of that verse, they even named their lands after themselves, their dwellings from generation to generation. Their inner thoughts are on their own homes forever. But in verse 10 it says, Indeed, he will see wise people die. The stupid and the senseless will meet their doom and leave their wealth to others. We are going to leave our wealth to other people. We are not going to take it. And as Peter says, our glory is just like a flower. So we need much more than that. And that's something that Pharaoh didn't understand. We need redemption. Redemption is an intervention of someone who is greater than us, who is going to pay the price for our salvation. For it would cost too much, says verse 8, to redeem his life. And the payments would go on forever. We cannot pay for that. It is grace. We have just to receive it. So when we are in a position to receive that redemption, and redemption is freedom that is offered to us. But in order to do that, the person who is going to give us that freedom, that deliverance, has to pay a price. The same way we had to pay for to set a slave free. We were slaves to sin, but God has paid the price. Vanity is what it is, our lives here. But God has offered us redemption. God bless you.